Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwant and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we have the pleasure of speaking with two authors who have written this book, The Collaborative Sale, Keith Eades and Tim Sullivan. Welcome both.
Hello, Gerhard. Nice to see you.
How did you get the idea to move away from the old way of selling to the new way of selling?
Well, Gerhard, I'd like to pay you a tremendous compliment first. 2 years ago, we visited and participated in the Sales 2.0 conference, which was very enlightening at the time. That's one of the reasons where the ideas actually came from, was the interaction. And at that meeting, there was probably, of the various vendors or suppliers at the Sales 2.0 conference, 90% of them were really geared toward, if you will, the use of some type of enabling technologies. There was a huge change or shift taking place with the buyer, and there was very little focus, in our opinion, being directed to what we'll call, what is the methodology or the approach or process that sellers need to use, right, to apply or be used with these new buyers.
Tim, explain the old approach and why is it obsolete?
First of all, buyer behavior has changed dramatically, as Keith has said. I mean, buyers have access to more information than ever before. And also, their expectations of sellers is much different today. They're expecting sales professionals to add value from the very first interaction that they have with them, whether that interaction be virtual over technology or in person as they interact with them, to determine what their needs are and to discern what kinds of capabilities are going to solve their particular problems. The old way of selling, where we as salespeople, back when we were first starting to sell a long time ago, we were the primary conduits for that information. And so a lot of education came from us, and we could control the flow of those conversations. That's no longer true today. Customers can create their own visions of what a solution for their problems might be, and the seller has to find a way to align with those new expectations to be able to position itself effectively.
So, Keith, let's focus in on the word collaboration. How do you define that?
First of all, collaboration, as we define it in the book, is basically the exchange between buyers and sellers, but more importantly, we define collaboration as through transparency. The idea here is that to collaborate, there must be complete transparency between the individuals that are involved. So this is really quite revolutionary in the book, and a point of emphasis, and really hard for a lot of people to accept the idea that no matter if it's good or bad, I want to exchange everything about who we are, our products, our services, what we know about your situation as a buyer, and make sure that what we are either suggesting or proposing is in fact in your best interest, not in our best interest, and that we both agree that in fact it is or it isn't.
How do you set the stage? How do you empower the buyer to become that co-collaborator, the co-creator of the sale?
We're not really there to challenge the buyer as much as we are to collaborate with the buyer and either meet them where their vision is, enhance it, or if needed, to re-engineer that. Once you've had a conversation with the buyer to make sure it's really, you've listened and there has been collaboration, you would post that into a collaboration site and get them to post back any comments, feedback, or changes into that situation. So we're using technology as a platform to facilitate the collaboration.
And when we're talking about technology, we're not necessarily talking about CRM, although that can be very helpful, but using the kind of social and collaboration tools to create a personal brand and be able to demonstrate their expertise and formulate or help buyers formulate their own thinking about ways they could do things differently, even maybe before they're even considering buying. And also there's other kinds of interactive technologies today for creating collaborative value propositions, working with the buyer to develop jointly an understanding of the real impact that you can have as you're developing a solution for them and what that could have on their particular business. Makes it much more likely for them to buy.
And that's why I think that book is really great, because it blends the tried and proven with the new mindset and the new technology skill set.
One of the things that in the book that we're introducing with these new buyers are three new what we call sales personae, right? Or if you will, what I like to describe as parts that sellers need to play with new buyers. The three personae that we introduced, the first is something we call a micro-marketer. And in fact, one of the reasons that technology is so important in the use of social networks is that micro-marketers today are really expected, this part salespeople need to play, is there to help generate interest, demand, and leads for their products and services. Most marketing departments cannot create enough leads for the individual sellers to be successful.
Right.
So they really have to play that part. And then marketing departments have to expect the micro-marketer as a channel for them.
In the book, we actually posed the question, is a solution-oriented, solution-selling sales approach dead? Which has often been said by a number of pundits in the industry today, and we comment on that specifically in the book. And what we found was that solution selling is far from dead. In fact, it's more effective today than ever before, but the way that you execute it in order to collaborate effectively with buyers and to use these kinds of technologies is slightly different. So solution selling is not dead, and it needs to continue to evolve to meet the needs of the current buyers in the ways that they are expecting value from sellers today.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and wish you great success with the wonderful book that everybody should read, and go to Amazon.com today and improve your sales tomorrow. Thank you, Keith, and thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
What's most interesting in this book is the concept of the three new sales personas. First, the micro-marketer, whose role is to connect with early-stage buyers. Second, the visualizer, who creates a powerful vision for the future. And third, the value driver persona, who co-creates value with the buyer. It's a great way to look at the three new roles of the salesperson. It is well worth your reading time.